Okay, let's unpack something that feels completely backwards compared to pretty much everything we've ever been told about success.
Right.
We have this idea that hard work needs to feel, well, hard, but we're looking at something today that just flips that on its head.
It really does.
The core argument here is that ease doesn't arrive because you forced it. It arrives only when the resistance ends.
It's a complete reframe of the grind set, isn't it? We
Wow.
usually treat ease like a reward, I'll suffer now so I can relax later.
Totally.
But the reality is that ease isn't a destination, it's a mechanism. It's what happens when you stop fighting the process.
But let's be real for a second. If I walked into my boss's office and said, "Hey, I'm done struggling, I'm just going with the flow," I'd probably get fired.
Of course.
There's this massive voice in everyone's head, mine included, that says if something is easy, it must be lazy. So are we just rebranding laziness here?
That is the million-dollar question. And I think the answer lies in the difference between effort and friction. We have this cultural myth that struggle equals value. We think, I'm suffering, I am stressed, therefore this work matters. But objectively, struggle is just proof of friction.
It's heat loss.
Exactly. It's energy being wasted, not used.
That distinction, friction versus fuel, is huge. It reminds me of a concept we read about called the argument with the task.
Yes, this is crucial.
It's the perfect description. It's
Yeah.
not the work that's hard. It's the 3 hours I spend dreading the spreadsheet, just staring at the screen
The negotiation.
and negotiating with myself versus the actual 20 minutes it takes to type in the numbers.
Precisely. That negotiation is internal resistance. You are effectively burning energy trying to convince yourself to do the thing rather than just doing it. That's the struggle. When you drop the argument, the difficulty often just evaporates.
So let's say we manage to drop the argument. We stop the dread. What actually happens, because this isn't just a mindset trick, the material talks about a very specific physiological shift.
Right, and this is where it moves from philosophy to biology. We tend to think we need to mind over matter our
Yeah.
way into focus. But it really works the other way around.
How so?
The body relaxes first, and then the mind follows. It's a bottom-up process.
So you feel it in your shoulders before you feel it in your brain.
Exactly that. Think about when you're stressed. Your vision literally narrows, your muscles tense up. That is your nervous system pumping the brakes because it perceives a threat.
Right.
When you align with the task, that tension drops. And the indicators are very clear. Effort decreases, but clarity actually increases. Decisions that used to feel like solving a calculus problem suddenly become obvious.
The text described it as, what once felt heavy stops requiring explanation. You just do it,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to that weird phenomenon we've all felt, the click.
The click.
Yes. It's so weird because it never seems to happen gradually. You don't slowly get into the zone. It just hits you all at once. Why is that?
It feels sudden because it's not an addition, it's a subtraction.
A subtraction.
Yeah. We usually think the click happens because we finally found the missing piece or added more willpower. But the click is actually the moment something unnecessary was removed.
Okay, that's a little abstract. Give me an analogy. What are we removing?
Think of it like driving a car. If you are flooring the gas pedal, but you also have the parking brake on, the car is going to struggle.
It's just going to roar and shake.
Exactly. The engine will roar, the car will shake, and you'll burn a ton of fuel to move maybe 3 inches. That is struggle.
And we usually think the solution is just to press harder on the gas.
Yes. We think, I need more power, I need more grit. But the click, that moment of ease, is simply you taking your foot off the brake. Yeah. You didn't add anything to the engine. You just removed the resistance.
Wow. That makes the concept of nervous system safety make so much more sense. Safety isn't about being cozy in a blanket. It's coherence in motion. It's the absence of the brake.
Right. When your nervous system feels safe, it stops fighting your own momentum. You stop braking and accelerating at the same time. And when that internal negotiation ends, what remains simply works.
What remains works. That's a killer line. It suggests that the capability was there all along. It was just buried under all the noise we were creating.
And it brings us back to the ultimate baseline, reality. Ease happens because your actions finally match reality. When something is real, it does not resist being lived.
So, for everyone listening who is currently grinding their teeth over a project, the takeaway isn't to stop working hard. It's to look for where you're breaking.
Exactly. Ease is efficient, not lazy.
Yeah.
So here's the question you should ask yourself today. If you're exhausted by a task right now, are you actually struggling with the work or are you just arguing with reality?